Come with me to explore the National Wax Museum in Dublin. Before I even walked in the museum, I was very impressed by this wax figure of a guy in a night suit. I kind of thought he was a real person, and I was really thrown off. They had this room of Star Wars / musicians. It was kind of a lot going on, maybe having a bit of an identity crisis. Not quite sure what was going on. I did recognize Elvis in the back. I did not recognize everyone in the room, but some figures were super iconic. There's Michael Jackson, and it was really awesome. Right next to this musician Star Wars room, they had a room of writers, Irish writers. If you can tell, if you look closely, there are Halloween decorations in this room because I visited the week of Halloween, and you can notice on this table there's a dog skeleton that was throwing me off just a little bit, but the room was still really, really neat. Then they had this room dedicated to Father Ted, who was an Irish TV character, and so they had some priests in there, and then they had this wax figure of Pope Francis, which was so cool, and it was just so awesome to see him. Of course, they had Harry Potter, and you can't have Harry without his little friend Dobby, so they had a little Dobby statue, and then they had Mad-Eye Moody, which was pretty cool. They had some superheroes, so they had Spider-Man hanging upside down. They also had Superman, which is to the right of this statue. One of the creepiest things, though, in this room was this Santa Claus that was sleeping and breathing. If you can look closely, you'll see his chest moving. They had Donald Trump. Kind of think they missed the mark on this one. Don't think it really looks like him. Downstairs, they had Ireland throughout the ages. Here's St. Patrick. And then they had some Vikings working on a ship. This guy was beheaded. Unfortunate for him. This Viking was super, super tall. They had this guy in chainmail, which was really, really cool. And then this guy, I thought his haircut looked like Lord Farquaad, which I was loving. Here's Queen Elizabeth I. She was a ghastly white, which was a little bit terrifying, to be honest. Here is a plaster of Oliver Cromwell's head. They had a part of the museum dedicated to the time period of the famine, which was actually really informative and eye-opening to see what these people, how they struggled during this time. Then they had a military room. To be honest, I am not yet that familiar with military history in Ireland, but it's something I really want to learn more about, so this room was fascinating. Then they had a Halloween section, and they had Dracula.